I didn't plan it this way originally, but this has become the world record video in this little series of ours, so let's start off with Mr. DalekJD, who I have no idea how the hell he keeps appearing here. Here's the story. Back in the early days of Black Ops 1, there was a weird little thing going on. There was a trend where instead of just going for the highest round possible, people would instead try to have the highest amount of points possible. Because Black Ops 1 has no realistic limit on this, sometimes you'd see games that are only on round 80 or 90 but have 10 million points, and since all you do is use crappy wall weapons, shoot all the ammo into the zombies, buy ammo, and repeat for like 50 hours straight. This is the most brain dead possible thing to do because you're not even making progress in the rounds. Most zombies will just die out from a timer and respawn with full health before the MP5K does enough damage. But remember, it was important back then. That's why I guess when Dalek was a small channel trying to make a name for himself, he decided to upload a new world record on the map 5. He supposedly made it to round 74 with about 8.25 million points, which to the average person back then wouldn't really raise any alarm bells. Along with being the points record, this also would have been the overall high round world record at the time of uploading. Well, fast forward to 2017 and something else happens. The Relaxing End and Dalek have never really been the best of friends, and they've had their fair share of public spats over the years. I don't exactly remember what sparked it this time around, but the Relaxing End mentioned that Dalek had faked a world record on 5 in the past. Then of course, because of this, people did some digging to try and find the original video, but Dalek had actually deleted it at some point. Luckily, a fan had re-uploaded it, which means an investigation could begin. A community member named Kira then ran some of the math on his findings, and sure enough, Dalek's world record wasn't legit. In Black Ops 1, you have the points in the bottom left corner, which is how many points you are currently holding. Then when you die and the game is over, the game will show you your total amount of points, including everything that was spent. During the game, Dalek had 8,253,000 points. On the end screen, it showed 8,388,000 points. That means he supposedly only spent 134,000 points throughout the entire match on everything from doors to pack-punch, perks, traps, everything. Even playing normally and running traps or constantly spinning the mystery box for more ray guns would have cost way more than that, but he obviously has the 8 million points, which would have taken thousands of ammo purchases to accumulate, which combined would have easily cost 5 times more than the 134,000 that he supposedly had spent. So here's my theory. I think Dalek was just fascinated with YouTube because yeah, he was young and it was 2011 where being a gaming YouTuber was still a fairly new concept. Even in the commentary of the video, he asks people to go and share around the video to your favorite zombie slayers on any platform that you possibly can because he just wanted to be a famous YouTuber like everyone else did. And he at the time thought his best way to do this was to mod a game of 5, give himself 8 million points, go to the world record high round, and sit with God mode until round 74. Then he would play for a little while, take a couple of downs, and only release the footage from the last 90 seconds of the game. It's not really the worst plan in the world, honestly, because proof standards back then were so much lower than they are today. I guess he just banked on people not knowing that it was modded at the time and hopefully everyone forgetting about it by the time he decided to delete the video from his channel, but apparently the Relaxing End didn't forget. Keeping on the topic of cheating for literally no reason whatsoever, let's talk about the mobile ports of zombies. In late 2020, a post showed up on the zombie subreddit from someone claiming that on the mobile version of Black Ops 1 Zombies, they had reached around 250,000. Mr. Telexify went on to make a video talking about this because it's a really good title, let's be fair here, to have around 250,000 in it, and COD Zombies HQ also used it in a news video. In the Reddit post, the user says the game was started in late May of 2018 and ended at the end of November 2020, meaning this one match lasted 2.5 years. That's not entirely outlandish on the surface actually, because in the mobile app version of Zombies, you can save your progress, close the app, and pick up the game where it had left off. To make it even a little more believable, they were answering questions in the replies, and a year before, if you check their post history, they had made a separate post with a screenshot of around 150,000. And this actually made it more believable that they had been playing all this time, but that post, however, the around 150,000 one, would actually be their undoing. For this bit, you're gonna need a little bit of info about Black Ops Mobile Zombies, so let's cover a few important things. Like I mentioned, you can save and quit, leading to longer matches. There are also only 27 zombies maximum per round, and the game is notoriously easy. But it's also notoriously glitchy. Most people will encounter some form of game-ending glitch in the first few hundred rounds, let alone 250,000. Now we can kind of debunk this in literally every way possible. Firstly, the phone that this person claimed to have been using wasn't even released when the game supposedly started, so unless their dad is actually actually Bill Gates, I don't see this happening. As far as in-game stuff is concerned, in the comments on the 150,000 post, someone asked how many kills they have right now. The poster responded with 4,049,856 kills. And right away, I knew that this game was modded because of that. As I said a minute ago, each round, after probably round 10, will have 27 zombies. If you multiply 27 times 149,990, you get 4,049,730 zombies. Okay, and well, we can add in like 150 zombies, and it actually does come out to about the number that the Redditor had posted. So is this person actually telling the truth then? No, they aren't, because they completely forgot about Hellhound rounds, which have much less kills than normal rounds and take up about 20% of all rounds in the entire game. So they should realistically have like 3.2 or 3.3 million kills at this stage. But there's also the fact that a different person asked about the strategy being used, which was the fire trap to the left of the spawn room. Most rounds were supposedly done this way, and the fire trap does not count as kills for the player. There's also the fact that both of the screenshots show the Redditor having 2.1 billion points. The exact number is the highest number that the game is capable of showing, so in the most simple terms possible, I'm more likely to become the president of Mars before that happens, especially with not shooting zombies during most rounds and letting the fire trap do most of the heavy lifting. Have I also not mentioned that there's zero gameplay of this match that's ever been posted? All we've ever seen is some screenshots and a few replies to comments on Reddit which prove that it was even more than just modded. Or the fact that Black Ops Mobile is literally easy as shit to hack into. There's cheats out there for this game which allow you to change anything that you want, stuff like points, kills, round numbers, and anything else that you want. But apparently just a screenshot was enough to get the attention of multiple YouTubers who made videos on it, and looking at the Redditor's account though, I really can't even be mad at them. They were apparently 15 years old when this happened, and honestly they were probably just trying to get some upvotes and nice comments on Reddit. I assume they never thought it would turn into what it did, and honestly it's kind of relatable. We've all posted stuff online looking for attention before, so honestly this is pretty harmless as far as I'm concerned. And then here's the one which I think will cause the most debates in the comments, I think. Should a strategy be banned just because it's too powerful? A few years ago, an exploit was discovered where players were able to shoot any gun 5 times faster than they would normally be able to. Basically, if you had certain types of computer mice with an unlocked scroll wheel, players were able to bind the shoot, switch weapon, and reload to that scroll wheel at the same time. So when scrolling back and forth quickly, it did stuff like this. It was quickly dubbed the fast ray gun because it's most useful on that weapon. But you might be thinking, hey, hold on, the ray gun's good, but not great though, so where's the issue? Well, zombies' high rounds on many maps at this point are basically speedruns. All strategies have become so optimized on the most popular maps that improving the world record usually requires a newer risky strategy to be developed, insane levels of luck, or both. Saving a few minutes over a 100-hour game that is played over a couple of weeks might be the difference between tying the world record and beating it. When Fast Ray Gun was discovered, obviously people were going to try to find a way to implement it. On Ascension, it was used in a world record on low rounds to try and get the max spawn rate rounds into the mid-60s as quick as possible. And it's made its biggest impact on Black Ops 2's survival maps Town, Nuketown, and Farm. None of these maps have a wonder weapon and are actually supposed to be difficult. The best guns that you can get are the Ray Gun and the Ray Gun Mark II, which is much more rare than the original. In the over 120 hours of playtime, the vast majority of that time is spent either shooting the Ray Gun's ammo or spinning the mystery box for a new Ray Gun. That's why Fast Ray Gun changed everything. Cutting out possibly a minute of shooting from each of those Ray Guns adds up extremely quickly and could have the potential to raise the records right away. And that's exactly what happened with the only Nuketown Zombies round 100 ever being done with the Fast Ray Gun, beating the old world record of 96. Figsu used to hold that record, reaching round 96 in 108 hours of playtime. In the round 100 with Fast Ray Gun, the new record holder Chris got there in just 76 hours. Saving 32 hours is a lot of time, and well, an hour or two of that could be attributed to playing faster overall and better mystery box luck. That still leaves 30 hours of time that Fast Ray Gun could have saved. So around this time is when the high round players began to have a real discussion about Fast Ray Gun and if it should be banned. Some of the argument is that for all intents and purposes, this is a PC only technique. Theoretically, it can be done on a controller, but it would be a lot tougher and less consistent than on PC. Keeping it around would basically cut off all the console players from being able to compete for records on Black Ops 1 and 2 anymore. At the same time though, it breathed life into a scene that had been standing still for quite a while, where the biggest leaps in world records would be 2 or 3 rounds at the most. An avalanche of new world records were being broken with Fast Ray Gun. Eventually, a community consensus did did form and a vote was made on whether to ban it. Most players at that point weren't even doing fast ray gun legitimately anymore and were just using macros to automate the process so that it was super consistent. And eventually the vote was cast to ban fast ray gun from world record high round games and to remove any records that had been using it to keep things fair. Stuff like the Nuketown round 100 isn't even possible without the exploit, so keeping an unbreakable record on the leaderboards made no sense. Personally, I do think it was the right decision overall, but there are still a few people who think that it's not cheating and should be allowed. If you want to see some more drama about how Syndicate's famous round 115 on Kino der Toten was modded too, then click the video on screen right now. Thanks for watching, love you, bye bye.